Hi friends, it's Cheri. Haven't been on in a while. I was in the hospital last week. I was really sick and had surgery, so please excuse my voice. It's still recovering from the tube being down my throat. It's been awful, but anyway, please keep me in your prayers. Still, I was battling a really bad infection. Um, they put me on IV antibiotics for 3 days nonstop. Vancomycin and Rocephin and something else. I had three different kinds, three or four different kinds of antibiotics. And then they found out I had appendicitis on top of all of that. So I had to have surgery. So I was a sick girl last week. So please excuse my voice. But I did want to get on here and talk a little bit about something that's in my heart and something that just seems so blasphemous to me. Um, and I don't like using that word blasphemous, but it just seems so wrong that people, Christianity, um, has, well, has been deceived into believing that the Bible is the Word of God. um, the Word of God. Let me just tell you this. It's a beautiful story. You know, it's so much more beautiful than words in a book being the Word of God. That's so confining, you know, because the Word of God is the very essence of life. It's the giver of life. In the beginning, Father breathed a word, and in this breath, the word gave life to the Spirit. This Spirit is the giver of life. And in this Spirit, all life began and was created. The very Spirit that dwells in all things. It is the essence of God, the very word spoken. Sorry about that, friends. I got interrupted. Um, but it's the very word spoken by God. That word gave birth to the Spirit of God. And that Spirit is the essence of life, the giver of life. How can words in a book be that? Somewhere somebody just called it the Word of God. I'm not trying to deplete the meaning of the words in that book. I'm saying a lot of people had their hands in it, and it's people that we don't know. I'm not second guessing the validity of what these men that wrote these books, what they believed and what they felt and what they experienced. What I'm questioning is that Christianity has confined this word to a book. A book. A book can't give life. It can't create life. It doesn't give birth. It's the Spirit that gives birth. And it's in all things. So it's very, very concerning to me when people just delve into a book and say, this is the Word of God. Because yes, the words in the book, it can introduce someone to the real word. I mean, it can, it reveals mysteries. But the life is not in a book. The life is in us. The Word of God is living in us. And it gives birth to us. And then what we speak and utter becomes that word that gives life or that can give death. There's life in what we say. There's life in what we think, or there's death in what we say and what we think. Um, you know, you read the story about the disciples and Jesus casting out demons. All demons are negative thoughts and feelings. And these negative thoughts and feelings give birth to a spirit within us that become demons. These spirits are demons in us. Demons are negative spirits that we create by our thoughts and emotions. And so when they cast out, the Bible, it's written as though it was a magic spell, that Jesus and the disciples would say or do to cast these out. But really, it is bringing about a change or a renewal in one's thinking from negative to positive. Because when our thoughts and our words and our emotions are on the positive side, this then kills those demons. It sends them, it casts them out. Okay, maybe not kill, but it casts them out. And so, but they're still, they're still out there. The energy, the spirit, or when I say spirit, it's energy. Okay, so the energy or the spirit that this negativity creates in us, when they're cast out, they're still out there in the atmosphere. And so we can't, it's not like they can be killed, because that energy is out there. It's been created. See, that spirit of God gives birth in us and to us. And so then we are able to create the same life-giving energy and through our words and emotions. And so we can also, it can also confine us, and create negative energy. So, when Jesus said there's life and death in the things that we speak and the things that we think and we feel, it's the truth. And that negative energy can only be conquered through love. And love is the most positive energy of all. And so, anyways, I wanted to talk about these things that, it just seems like it's such a deception. Demons are not just fallen angels. They're not fallen angels, okay? We give birth to these things. We give birth to them. Just as the spirit gives birth to us. That spirit inside of us, gives us the power to give birth to these spirits, these demons, inside of us. And so it's just negative energy is what it is. And I don't know if anyone has ever had an experience where their mind, their thinking has been renewed. Like I can tell you, like when I was sick, I just felt a negative energy, and I felt doomed. I felt like I was dying. And so it's when I started to have a renewal in my thinking, and this is when I started to feel better. And I'm telling you, there's really something to this. And it is all a matter of the mind, because the mind gives birth to literal energy, which is spirits. Spirits are energy. So let's create positive energy instead of negative energy, because negative energy kills, it confines, it destroys, it's not something that we want to have in us or in our world, in the world that we live in right here. And there's a lot of that in this world, and that's why we see so many negative things happening. And it's all things that we create. People want to blame things on God, but it's not. It's things that we create. And the negative energy that we create within ourselves is out there. It's out in the atmosphere, and it's hovering, okay? And it seeks to kill and destroy this negativity, this energy. So we have to really, really be careful in what we think, what we say, um, how we feel. And it's okay to feel down and depressed, now and then. But then make sure, I mean, it's just human nature to do this. There's always going to be negative energy here, but the less energy on the negative side that we create, we'll have a better world, better environment for our children and our grandchildren and for ourselves. And the fewer shootings we're going to see, the fewer murders, the fewer um, natural disasters we're going to see, because those are all a manifestation of the negative energy we create that begins in us. All right, that's all I have for you. I'm going to go, and please remember to keep me in your prayers while I recover. I love you all. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.